For those of us who do want to call ourselves being part of the solution against racism on this planet, I've got a simple test that will determine your loyalty and expose which side you're really on. If you have to make a choice between the survival of the African collective and the survival of the European collective, which side do you choose? Now, most white people who are hearing this right now are in the process, if you haven't already come up with an answer, you're in the process of coming up with some sort of rebuttal to indicate that you don't have to choose sides, that you're for everyone. Well, if you're for everyone, then you're not for black people first. You're for creating a solution that's going to ensure your own survival. Unless you're dedicating your life to making sure that every black person on this planet survives, and unless you're putting yourself in front of the bullet when cops are shooting innocent black and brown people, unless you're in Africa working against the genocides that are all perpetuated by European economic imperialism, you're not doing anything to protect black folks. And you can't conceive of a solution that doesn't involve the survival of white people. It's not that I want one group to survive over another. And if you really understood the way that African and indigenous people get down and have always gotten down on this planet, they've never been about killing other groups of people. They've never even been about taking revenge on us for all the hundreds of millions of people that we've killed. But at some point, if you had to make that choice, 99.9999999% of you would never choose any solution that could possibly lead to you or your family not surviving this. White liberals will only support a solution to the problem that involves the survival of white people, and not just physically, financially. How many of you are willing to dedicate your entire life to ending racism? When you get an inheritance based on the opportunities that your grandparents had, or your great-grandparents had, or the murders that your ancestors committed, the land that they stole, the labor that they stole that they never repaid back, Wall Street that was built on the back, in fact, the entire economic foundations of the European collective that was built on the back of enslaving and exploiting everyone else on the planet, that allowed you to receive that inheritance. Are you willing to share that money? Or do you feel you don't owe it because you're not a racist? Let me tell you something. White supremacy is not even about racism anymore. White supremacy is about power. It's about control. It's about money. It's ownership of resources. And yeah, sure, a lot of us are racist. There's a lot of white people who hate black people. There's a lot of white people who fear black people. Most of us do. But at the end of the day, we could all love black people. We could have black friends. We could, all of that. But are you willing to give up the money? The stolen money? The money that your family stole? You could unlearn all of your unconscious biases as much as you can. You can learn how to treat black people with respect in the office. You can go to protests. You can do all of that, but unless you're willing to part with the resources that were stolen from African people, from indigenous people on this planet, then you're holding on to stolen property, and therefore you are part of the white collective. You are part of the white supremacist pan-European collective. And it's time that we stop lying about this shit.